Hi, my name is Ira, and this video about how we survived the war, what we saw, and to go further future comments, we are not asking for pity or something, we're just sharing that what we got. We will tell why Kyiv wasn't taken or occupied, why Russian military orcs was forced to go back, and why people who living here, they didn't take it seriously, information about invasion and war and etc. First of all, to understand the situation, let's see the map. This is the Kyiv, and this is the Kyiv district, or how it's spelled, oblast. Blue line, this is the border between Ukraine and Russia. And the red line, this is the border between Ukraine and Belarus. As you could see, the border between Ukraine and Russia is pretty far away from Kyiv. It's about 200 kilometers. And Russian orcs, they start the invasion from territory of Belarus. And please remember that for all these crimes which was done here in Kyiv district, the responsibility must go to Alexander Lukashenko and Belarus government. About the Belarus civilian people, we know a lot of them as our friends, family friends, and etc. And all of them are not supporting the government and not supporting that war at all. That's why I'm saying that responsibility is going to Lukashenko and his government. Kyiv based on Irpin River, and Kyiv has a banks, left side and right side, and government building also as a historical places. They are all concentrated on the right bank of Kyiv. On the left bank of Kyiv, like modern districts, modern buildings, skyscrapers, and etc. Welcome to our house where we lived before the war and through the war. And for now, as you could see, that looks like that is not the worst situation or how it have been directly after the active fight was over. People who lived here, they collected and they cleaned it up, they fixed all these things, and we were here also. So let's go inside and check. So here's the place between 4 and 5 floors where we tried to catch internet or any connection to call relatives to find any type of news about our location or something. And also we saw all crimes that Russian orcs did to our place. In the morning of 24 February, we have been our home in the village called Mila. And I got a call from my boss that, Ira, are you still sleeping? I said, yeah, what happened? He said, woke up, the war is started. Collect your things, your family, and run away. So we started to check the news and we saw everything on Google Maps that it's huge traffic on the highways. And that traffic was dark red for 150 kilometers far away from Kyiv. And of course, all our gas stations, they was empty. And it was only 8 a.m. in the morning. In the evening of 24 February, we goes to gas station that was far away from highway, and we was pretty sure that this station has a gasoline. After we got the gasoline, we goes to our garage, which in Kyiv. And just imagine, we're going by car between garages road, turning left, turning right, blah blah blah. And when we made the final turn in the darkness and light of our lamps, we saw the tank hidden between garages. We understand that it's our tank, so nothing worry about. But just imagine that turn and you see the tank is watching you and you're sitting in the car with square eyes and make like this. The tank driver, he asked us about some tools to fix the tank. We was wonder and let him enter to choose any type of tools that he would like. He saw the sign of my husband's channel, Teoria DVS, and he saw it and said, "Oh, you are Zhenya! You are that mechanic from YouTube. I'm your fan. Hi, nice to meet you." Could you imagine our double wonder about it? So we helped him with the tools, helped with cigarettes, shake hands, say glory to Ukraine, glory to the heroes, and we go back at home.
It's so hard traffic outside the Kyiv. There is no cars to the city. It's madness. We ignored the red lights. We drive into vice versa road. Actually, we didn't do that ever in our lives. It was first time. We haven't much time to spend it for nothing. So we drive fast, we ignored the red lights, and most unique what we saw when people go by them own by walking through the roads just in tries to get out the Kyiv. Not because they would like, but because of public transport doesn't work. It's really brings you the feeling of post-apocalyptic situation.
Russian military orcs, first troops, they go by helicopters under Kyiv Sea. Them goal was an airport in Hostomel to land there them troops.
That's why a lot of people in Kyiv district, they was pretty sure that Russian military forces, they will not go through Belarus.
Бля, тут реально дохуя. Вот еще летал. Это пиздец.
We also saw these helicopters from our windows.
Them helicopters was flied about 3 days, and only because huge losses what they got, they stopped to continue this tactic. We don't know exactly the numbers of these losses. It's not like a secret or something, but nobody could count it. This conclusion about huge losses, it's based on feedback from local people and what they saw. The long story short, the last point of this invasion by aviation was a story about one airplane called Il-76. It was shooted by Ukrainian military forces, and another two same airplanes, when they saw it, they turned it back and ran away and never came back. So after that, Russians, they stopped this tactic about the landing troops and other things by helicopters or airplanes. In Chernihiv, there are the river called Desna. There are two roads. It's not a highway, but whatever is the huge one. And two bridges. And that bridges was exploded immediately by our forces to not let orcs go. Between Kyiv and Chernihiv, there are also huge military base, and Russian orcs, they wasn't able to cross it because from one way this is the river, and from another way that's the military base. They tried to occupy a city called Sumy, and through this city they planned to go on Kyiv. From Kyiv to Sumy, it's about 400 kilometers. They tried to go, at least they tried. But lucky for us, there are a lot of fields. Only because of that, our military forces covered that troops so easily. When Russian orcs occupied some villages or one village, they put them flag on the center of village and they ran away, totally sure that it's Russian village now, and that's all. And they reported to them headquarters that they captured the village. As we know, it's not only one-time situation. It's a regular thing. So, if we will look on our map, we will see that it wasn't clear occupation. It looks like traveling gangs trying to camp themselves. On the right side, Kyiv situation was much more worse. The first one, orcs used the troops under Kadyrov name. I don't want to talk much about them. You can Google it, it's easy. They are just criminals and terrorists from Chechnya. Exactly, they are tried to occupy Hostomel airport. Let's back to map. Close to Kyiv, we have a river called Irpin. This river was used in USSR to work on fields. Exactly the river, it's so small, it's easy to cross. But around this river, it's marshland and pretty big. Even heavy vehicles couldn't go through it. The road that's going from villages to the Kyiv city, they are crossing that river. The first bridge, it's near Kyiv Sea on the dam. The second bridge, village Demidov. Third bridge on Hostomel. Fourth bridge in Irpin. Fifth bridge, it's village Stoyanka, it's Zhytomyrsky highway. Sixth bridge, it's village Bilogorodka. Because of Russian orcs, they ran to us pretty quickly. Our military forces destroyed the bridges on dam in Demidov, in Hostomel and in Irpin. It all happened at night from 24 to 25th February. And the bridge on Stoyanka destroyed at night from the 25th to 26th of February. And only way to go in Kyiv by car, it was only that way in Bilogorodka. That bridge wasn't destroyed because thankfully for geographical location, let's say, and some spoilers, orcs wasn't able to reach that point at all.
This is historical hills, and any type of troops which will like to achieve the goal or target on the top of these hills will lose. That's why this road saved a lot of lives.
Third of May, we met the war near our house. In the morning, one of our friend, he's a soldier in Ukrainian military forces, he texted us that tanks of orcs, they are coming to us. He warned us. At the lunchtime, we lost connection in our cell phones. There is no wire, there is no internet, nothing. We forced to go upstairs to the 4th or 5th floor just to find any type of wire to connect, to read the news, to understand what's going on, to call our parents and relatives. And from that point, we clearly saw that Russian tanks with the letter V.
Как в этой фразе. Люблю запах напалма утром. Вон он дым в районе заправки UPG. Вон еще опять дым.
They are there.
Слушай, это вот танки отстреливаются. Не видно, правда, ни хера. Но вот это вот максимум, что тут видно. Ну, короче, ни хера не видно. Ну, где-то там. Где-то там. Ага, вон дым идет. Вон, а нет, это с дома дым. По-моему. Но пошла уже очередь. Ситуация следующая. Вон она, в сторону Стоянка. Я не знаю, что это дымится. Дыма там много, но это херня по сравнению с вот этим. Здесь горит крыша.
Apartments burning. There's no people inside.
Вот. Пожарку вызвали, ну там танки стоят, хрен же оно проедет. Вот с этого ракурса крыша валит. То есть это явно туда чем-то жахнули. Мини-маркет.
And coffee shop is burning too.
И вон что-то еще горит, там дым, непонятно, за вот этими домами. И пожарка не может проехать, там танки везде, нельзя. Вот она дорога, и вот там где-то танки, вон они.
They are there.
Засели с той стороны,
See?
падла. Прямо под частный сектор вот один, а вот там клубы дыма, там минимум 2. Зум больше не приближает. Вон он где-то прячется под забор, скотина. Ага, уже отъехал. Вон дым. Вон он едет.
Do you see the smoke? It's after the tank.
Они ныкаются прямо в частном секторе.
Uncensored, non-translatable language of my
И
husband.
женщина, вот вы, суки. Вон он, клуб дыма.
It's from exhaust pipe of tank.
Он стартует, газует, вылетает клуб дыма. Вот он где-то там ездит, четко между частными домами. Вот там вот, вдалеке. Вот, пиздец. Сука. Вон, блядь, догорает. Ёб твою мать. Была хата у людей? Нет хаты у людей. Вот он дом. Причем это за ним. Вот за тем домом. Вон он, блядь.
Private house is burning, but thankfully there is no people inside.
А вот это туда попал снаряд. То есть все остальное, вон оно сгоревшее, оно просто... Что вначале горело? Вначале горело вот здесь вот. Сейчас все туда перешло. Он весь, сука, последний этаж с квартирами.
We are living in the complex of buildings. One of the building, it was close to highway, so tank which was there, he shoot it in that building. He did it totally understand that what he's doing. It's not something that we are lost it on our educational military things. And the roof on this building, it start to burning. We called, let's say, 911 to help calm down the fire. And fire workers, they couldn't reach that building because of the shooting. And they drive it away. They just drive it away.
Встает и все. Ага. Где-то что-то. Вон нахуй, блядь. Ну его, блядь, нахуй. Пидоры, блядь. У, блядь. Ух ты ж, блядь. Нормально. Где-то там ёбнуло вдалеке.
Осколки, бля, аж сюда летят. По крыше осколки слышно.
Да, я слышал цин-цин-цин-цин вот это вот.
Не, ебанули осколки, пошли по крыше.
А вот это что?
One of our neighbor asked Zhenya, did he hear the scraps of metal which falling down to the roof? And Zhenya, he said yes.
Ну и так все у нас горит.
We tried to calm down our neighbors. They hide it with us in the corridors, and some of them cried, some of them screamed that let's put a white flag and we are ready to save our souls, just don't touch us and all these things. And clearly I remember that situation when some orc he shoot our house by incendiary bullets. They are burning out everything surround. They shoot in the apartments on 6th floor, and lucky for apartment's owner, he wasn't there. But all neighbors, they collected together, they bring the water, and they try to stop this fire to not burn all our house. Spoiler, it wasn't help in the future.
Не стойте здесь, бля. Что-то выиграли!
Монтировка есть?
Монтировка есть!
Без світло. Світло є.
На. Вот, у меня такой.
Фонарик при помощи, нихуя не видно. Дайте фонарик.
Де фонарь?
Я не знаю.
Що це? Ну да, що тушить?
Надо йти на кухню, бля. Ну все замуровано. Та ніхуя ж не видно, противогаз, блядь.
Ніхуя не говорить.
Воду сюди, не знімай. Не знімай.
Since that day, we found a scenario of what happened at night. It's pretty quiet. We heard somewhere far away shooting or something, but it wasn't on our territory. After 9 a.m., everything starting. Our forces shooting orcs shooting in the side of Ukrainian forces, and we was like on the gray zone. We saw all these missiles flying up there, and there. It took about 3 or 4 hours. After this battle, we saw how orc tanks was burned and this black smoke from burning tanks. And evening was also pretty quiet. And the next day, the same again. And the next day, the same again. And the next day, the same again. Only one wish of orcs, it was the crossing the highway and to reach the bridge in Bilohorodka. So we wasn't able to film a lot of, because I was take care of that neighbors. But Zhenya, as a, let's say, professional journalist, he got outside and filmed some video.
Блядь, след от чего-то. И сейчас это где-то на стоянке прилетит. Ну вот это вот одно жахнуло. Но это с той стороны дороги. Че горит, непонятно. Может, танк подбитый. Вон он у нас очередной орк-расшист горит. Но уже меньше дыма. Вначале было там где-то минут.
I don't understand, even wild animals, if they get the hit on the nose, they will turn them back and will run away, right? But it wasn't about Russian orcs. They try to cross the road. They get covered, deadly covered. Next morning, same. Next morning, same. And same and same and same, like zombies who couldn't understand what they are doing. They just walking and walking. Let's go back to the map. Before our village, orcs occupied city called Makarov, and they controlled part of the highway. And when orcs occupied this part of highway, people from Makarov, they wasn't know that, and they tried to run away to Kyiv. We have video filmed by drone. All orcs' crimes. If you would like to see that crimes, you could follow the link down below. And only one point I would like to notice that all that crimes, they happened 900 meters far away from our home. March 3rd, it was the last day when we had electricity and everything in our home.
We charged up our phones and phones of neighbors by car battery. 3-4 devices per one day, it was pretty enough to keep in touch with our families online. Our bathroom, it's totally suits for the rule of 2 walls of protection. So that's why we're hided in the bathroom with the kid. Our son, he also slept there.
In our location, Mila village, we had 2 supermarkets. One of them calls Fora and another one calls ATB. And one day before this attack on us happened, ATB owner, he said that all people who's living near us is welcome to pick up the food for free. So we got a lot of foods, a lot of things, stuffs. It's huge. Thanks for this supermarket owner. Unfortunately, for a supermarket, they wasn't get that lucky. and the building was shooted by tank. And after this attack was ended, we won, let's say. In that day, supermarket owner also said that all people is welcome to grab some food. And fun fact that people got all food, all the supplies, but they didn't took alcohol by their own wish, not by following some order or something. For sure, any society has some people who's not following such high-level standards, let's say, and they grab some beer, some wine, or some expensive alcohol just to treat themselves, just to try something expensive. I don't know. We also went there, exactly Zhenya, he was there, to grab some food for our son, and he's filmed a little bit. After that visit, Zhenya shared with me his feelings. Also, he said that it looks like you're in apocalyptic world. When you enter in the building, pieces of the glass was thrown on the floor, half-empty shelves, some broken alcohol, some black, dark rooms. It also has that smell of expired food, from not working refrigerators. All this smells, it's mixing with the smell of burning plastic things, or all this that was burned away. He walked around in the supermarket just to film what is the situation was there.
Там где-то должно... Что я не вижу. Ну, в общем, может осколок какой-то от снаряда. Впереди Киев, если что. И прямо...
Бункер остался с замком.
Ну, я думаю, многие видели там фото, видео с магазики маленькие. Вон она дырка, ни хера ее не видно. Ну, короче, вот здесь вот попадание. А вот этот дом отсюда вот тоже, вон он, с этой стороны видно, что все сгорело нахер. И непонятно, что с другими этажами тоже вон оно, фасады висят.
But the main goal, as I mentioned before, this is to find some food for our son. Anyway, we do have food. We went there just in case that all that food, what was left it, to not let the orcs get it. Plus, we wasn't sure how long we will sit at that situation. And after all that scenario, we made a decision that no matter how, no matter where, but we must leave our home, because the weather outside, it was cold, from 0 to -10 Celsius. In our house there was nothing, no water, no something to warm up ourselves, and we are with the kids and disabled parents. Our son, he was 2 years and 11 months, and in our apartment it was more colder with the day and the day and the day. And 9 of March, we met a volunteer who came to us to evacuate some families. And he said that exactly today we have a time gap to cross the road safely. But our parents, they refused to go, totally refused. The life of our son, it's more important. This is the directly saying from our parents. 20 minutes to collect ourselves, documents, money, some clothes, and must have, this is the toy that our son is loving so much. We crossed the highway safety, and we go in the direction of Bilogorodka. And what to say, we wait there about 5 hours just in this traffic of other people who tried to save them lives. And behind us we heard the explosions, we heard the shooting and everything. And if you wonder how our kid saw it and felt it, I was trying to explain him. He know about the gray wolf who's checking small kids if they are sleeping, and if they are not sleeping, he's sniffing them by cold nose. It's like a joke, but anyway, he couldn't understand that. Not so pleasure. And I tried to explain all this explosion, and then Sarah, I said, kid, we have a lot of gray wolves, a lot of angry gray wolves coming in our country, and our hunters, they are catching that angry gray wolves and kicking them asses. On that story, our son, he said, "Ooh, go away," like this. Not in English, but wherever it means like this. So he's showing that he's not afraid of this angry gray wolves, and he's so brave, really. And everything okay with him now, and was then, so don't worry about it. Finally, when we reached the safe place, we felt like, I don't know, like free and so light in the weight, you know. It's from one side. And from another side, we have no clue where we will go, where we will stay, where we will live. And it's whole story to tell, you know, that it's not interesting in case of our video, but some short spoiler that we found the place with help of friend of my parents in Ivano-Frankivsk district. March 24, Zhenya, he went to pick up his parents from our apartment in Mila village. 1 month we tried to convince them to go away from there to the safety place. In the end, we've get lucky. So morning 24 of March, Zhenya traveled back to Mila village, collect his parents' stuff, pick up them, and drive it back to Ivano-Frankivsk Oblast district. And the next day morning, I saw in our home chat, let's say home chat for all neighbors, pictures where is the roof on fire in our home. Roof on fire. At that day, we wasn't know that Russian orcs get an order to run away in 3 days. And they decide to throw on our village all bombs, all bullets, all everything that could destroy our houses, our lives, everything, just because they wasn't want to, let's say, throw it on the ground, and our Ukrainian military forces, they will come and they will took all that bombs and Sarah. So just not to share, they was ready to destroy people's lives. The roof of our house, 5th and 6th floors, was burned out. Because we have no roof, the rain is going inside the house and you could see the result. And this is the not worst situation, actually. That wall, it was shooted by some type of bombs or missiles, or I don't know. And cracks on the walls. I don't know if we could continue to live here after the renovation. And here is also the wall missed. This is the 5th floor. Surprisingly, this apartment wasn't destroyed, but the window it destroyed totally. And that building's also damaged by some missiles or bombs, but it wasn't destroyed in so bad way as we do have. By the way, this is the ground floor, and all our people who lived here, they hide it from fights, bombs, and etc. And this is not from the bullets, it's pieces from the bomb. The same situation for all windows here in our house. We spoke with our head of community, and he said that 164 houses was totally destroyed to the ground, and more than 400 was partially destroyed and need to rebuild or repair. This number is not related for commercial warehouses or shops or anything. It's just civilian things. On the right bank of Kyiv, Russian military forces, they put a bet on soldiers from Chechnya and Kadyrov. Long story short, soldiers from Chechnya and Kadyrov, they planned to occupy Hostomel. Thanks God, they faced some troubles to occupy Hostomel, and they ran away after 1 week of such fights. They ran away to the location called Dymer. They was set there and they terrorized the local people. Same situation happened to Bucha, to Hostomel, to Irpin. Soldiers from Kadyrov, they was the main land troops, and all others, it's artillery, tanks. It was managed by Russian military forces. Ukrainian military forces, they didn't allow to take a break or something to get rest or restructure or change the location or something. They attacked every day and every night. And after 1 month of such type of defense, Russian military forces, they understood that Kadyrov soldiers, they scared to fight, and another troops, they wasn't have any training or something before to face this attack and fight back. That's why they took that decision to run away from Kyiv Oblast.
Maybe you think that crossing the river it's so easy things with the modern vehicles for the last 70 years. It mustn't be so problematic. Well, partially it's true. Also, for such things, you need well-managed operation to do this. And Russian military orcs, they haven't time, they haven't plans. The pictures that you saw, this is from Donetsk district. In Kyiv district, they even haven't tried to make same things. The main goal was just to surround the Kyiv.
In the end of the end, let's say, all that what happened here in Kyiv, Irpin and Bucha looks like nothing what happened in Kharkiv, and definitely nothing similar with that situation that's happening right now in Mariupol, in Azovstal. It's totally different, and I'm sure it will be another shocking, breaking news from that city when we will make it free.